Okay, hey everyone, Solomon here. Just gonna go over this Malkovich game with Joaz. So the last move he played was P16, which is expected. I mean, we both invest our move into the corner, and then what's the next thing that you do? You approach the corners. So a lot of possible moves for me here. Still very early in the game, so a lot of possible moves I can think about. I can choose to play this move to try and stake the corner faster. I can choose to pincer the stone if I wanted to. I can choose to perhaps even play elsewhere. I mean, a lot of possible moves. So, which one am I going to play? Well, um, I'm not going to be playing this move, though I'd like to discuss it because um, I don't want people to misunderstand why I don't like this move. I don't like it not because it's a bad move. It's a perfectly valid move, and it's a it's probably even the best move. But the reason I don't like it is because I'd say over 95% of the time, a Go game ends up with this situation in the corner. This Joseki almost always gets played, or something very similar like this one, you know. And to me, that just seems very dull. How many times have we played those two Josekis that I just showed? You know, I've played it thousands and thousands and thousands of times probably, and I could stop playing Go for like 50 years, come back, and I'll still remember this Joseki. So I always try to stay away from these concrete Josekis that we've all come to memorize and remember because it's so common. Because it's there's no new moves to gain out of it. You just play the sequence, and 5 moves later, it's your turn again, and nothing really new happens in the area of the board where the Joseki gets played because you've seen it so many times already. Um, So whenever I try to play Go, I always try to play the moves where I don't always try to play some unusual, bizarre moves, but I always try to play moves that will always lead to, um, that leaves open a lot of possible variations that could erupt. So like in my last game against Zinger, I played that 2 space high, or was it 3 space low pincer, which though I did use a database in that game, it allowed a lot of variations to arise, though it never happened. So, but nonetheless, I always try to see if I can come up and see new moves in the early game. So I'm gonna try and play this pincer. For one, it's pretty aggressive. It puts a lot of pressure on P16 and forces black to pretty much forces black. It's hard to play elsewhere because this is quite nice for white. So black would need to probably invest another move into settling P16 ASAP. Two possibilities there. He could choose to play R17, dig into the corner, or he could choose to gain more control of the outside, play more solidly with O15. Both of these are very popular moves in this situation. Another reason why I like N17, besides the aggressive nature of it, is that it also has a lot of variations behind it. There's a lot of possibilities that could arise from it, unlike the very Joseki I showed earlier, and also it has a lot of interesting Hamete variations. So for those who don't know, Hamete is a like a Joseki with a trap in it. So it's like a trick play, where if the opponent refutes the Hamete, then the person who played the Hamete first usually ends up with a very bad result. But if the opponent falls into the trap of the Hamete, then he ends up with a very bad result. So whenever I play Hamete, I don't play Hamete to try and I don't play with malice. I always play it because it makes the game very interesting and chaotic. You know, both my opponent and I are putting ourselves at risk when I play the Hamete. He's at risk of falling into the trap, and I'm at risk of him refuting it, and it just leads to far more riskier game. Wow, I did not just say more riskier. It leads to risky games, and I like risky games. I enjoy playing poker, and I enjoy getting into messy situations on the go board. So that's why I enjoy studying Hamete, though I haven't really done so the past few years. But you know, you study it over and over again, and you play it a few times, and it'll just stick in your head. So this pincer, I think, has the most number of possible Hamete variations that could arise from here. A lot of them I'm quite familiar with. And actually, if Keith Arnold or HKA is watching this video, I even played one interesting variation against him where black plays here. Well, maybe I'll leave it alone for now. Let's see what happens if black plays here, and maybe I'll show the trick play later on. But I'll keep it on the down low for now. But I did play an interesting one against Keith Arnold, and he was quite amused by it. And I did end up losing that game, I think, by a few points when I went to Maryland last year. But yeah, I'm gonna play this move. It's aggressive, leaves open a lot of variations, and on the fun side, it has a lot of Hamete possibilities, which I'm quite fond of. So yeah, I'm gonna play N17. So thank you for watching.